Katie McScratch here! So this is week 2 in my dance video vlog series. So in this week, during belly dancing, we learned some moves that kind of built upon what we learned last week. A few kind of variations on like the steps, kind of including some of the like hip motions along with them. We also learned a little bit more about the history about belly dancing, kind of like the difference between the Egyptian style and the American style, which was very interesting. My teacher talked about how in the Egyptian style they tend to have their arms down more, whereas the American style has it up more. The other thing that she mentioned was in the Egyptian style, when they're doing like the hip circles, like I'm showing in here, that in the Egyptian style they're more like D's because it's impolite or rude, or I can't think of how she actually put it, to actually move your hips in front of your feet. So they round it towards the back, but when it goes to be like the front part of the circle, they go straight across instead. She also mentioned that at least at one point, she didn't know for sure if it was still the case or not, that it was impolite to have your fingers go down at all, because it's almost like the extent of like flipping someone off. So they keep their hands very flat in the Egyptian style, where in the American style, she tends to keep her fingers down a little bit. She said that part of that is because of using these finger symbols, that you tend to keep your fingers down like that. So that was part of it. So it was a little bit interesting kind of hearing about some of that stuff. And she kind of talked about her history with belly dancing, which was really fascinating to hear about. And I really enjoyed hearing about all that stuff. I can't tell you how much I just absolutely adore my belly dancing teacher. She is just amazing. Like I like every day, like I'm just sitting there thinking like, oh, I can't wait to go back to class because Hala is just, she's, oh, I don't know. I just don't know how to describe how amazing she is. She makes class like so much fun, and she just like makes me want to like practice even harder and learn even more. And yeah, it's nice having a teacher like that inspires you that much that you're like, oh, I can't wait to go back. So it makes it like super, super enjoyable. Like I'm just like, I can't wait to go. Also, the classmate I had this week was super cool. She was super nice. I had such a fun time talking to her, and we even got a picture together with our teacher. So overall, this week in belly dancing class was amazing. I loved the stuff that we learned. I love the fact that like it's just kind of building slowly on the stuff that we've already learned, so that way like we're able to keep incorporating it in and everything, and it makes it a lot easier to kind of remember what I need to be practicing as well. But I can't wait to find out what I'm going to learn next week. So in burlesque class, we had one of our regular teachers this week, and we kind of did like the basic how to walk from one point to another this week. It was some very basic stuff that we were learning this week. We also had some discussion about songs. We also have our homework assignment for this week, which is to find 2 songs, like 1 or 2 songs that we would like to try to build a routine towards. It doesn't have to be something that we ultimately end up using, but just something to work with to start off with. And then if we can, try to come up with a little bit of a routine for like the first 30 seconds. Otherwise, you know, they'll help us kind of come up with something to go along with that. Some of the other things that they discussed in class was just sort of like what are good things to look for as far as picking a song and coming up with a routine, stuff to try to avoid, just kind of that stuff in general. We also kind of talked about some other random stuff in class, but other than that, that was, you know, it was a pretty basic class. They kind of talked about like what to expect for the whole course also, and things like finding out what we wanted from the course, like what we were there for, what our motivations was, what goals we had for ourselves. And they talked about how like this is basic class 101, kind of cover the basics of everything and help you get to where you're wanting to go, whether you're wanting to, you know, start a profession in that, you know, with burlesque, or if you're just there for fun, so that they can actually like get you in touch with people to help you achieve your goal. Like if you're wanting to do it as a profession, help contact you with people that would help you in that manner. So overall, this week was not as rough as last week because it was very basic. So I was kind of thankful about that because I was really sore after last week. So it was nice that it was a little bit more laid back. I'm also trying really hard to like record my footage of me practicing what I learned in class right after class, so that way I can also use that to practice with the rest of the week. So I'm glad to be sort of getting that kind of stuff in place as well to help me with both my video series, but then also just to help me practice in general, because sometimes I have a hard time remembering everything that we talked about in class or everything we learned, or like the specifics of it. So it's kind of nice having a little like video clips to remind myself like, oh, this is the way that we're trying to do this one thing. I need to remember to do it that way because that's the way I need to be doing it, not this way, which could potentially hurt me or whatnot, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much it for this week. I know this is a little bit shorter and I don't have as much clips of me actually practicing this stuff. I hope to have a little bit more showing like my practicing after class and everything. I am just now starting figuring out like kind of how I'm wanting to record this and the way I'm wanting to like format it and everything. So bear with me, it'll be better next week, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you can be notified as soon as I upload these videos. Also, make sure to find me on all my social media. You can keep up with me there on all the stuff that I'm doing. I tend to post a little bit more on there and a little bit more in depth on what's going on. Be sure to comment down below if you have any questions about this video blog series or just any comments you have on what you think about this whole series. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see you next time and have a great day!